What's up, everyone? I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jessie.
You're listening to Milkshakes and Ghosts.
Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer.
Wait, stop. What are you singing? What are you doing? What is that?
Christmas time! Because today is Christmas Eve, which means tomorrow is Christmas.
Okay. And I guess that's why you're singing. I've never heard that song before.
Fun for all the children to come.
Okay. Okay. So Christmas time is here, as you heard from Jessie.
You didn't let me finish.
It's okay. You can finish later, I promise. Are you drinking anything special today, Jessie? In celebration of this magical holiday, because obviously you are vibing with Christmas in the spirit, singing. So what are you drinking?
I'm drinking air. I'm drinking air, guys. I'm just kidding.
Okay. No, what are you really drinking? Because I see something in your little milkshake and ghost container. What are you drinking?
Well, I'm drinking. It's called Snow Day Sugar Cookie.
Are there actually sugar cookies in that? Is that why you're so hyped today?
Duh. It's a mixture of sugar cookies, ice cream, and milk. You know I use all dairy-free products. Dairy-free is always much easier on my stomach, but you can use it with dairy if you would like. I threw everything into a blender, and out came this delicious mixture of greatness.
Did you come up with this idea on your own?
No! Cannot take credit for this delicious drink. Like, seriously, it's delicious. I found the recipe on martha.com. I'll link it in the show notes for everyone out there who would like to try.
Okay, well, that actually does sound delicious. Can I take a sip?
No. Give me that.
Oh my gosh, you're so selfish with your drinks.
You can make it on your own.
Today, I'm actually not going to say anything about sugar cookies into a blender. At least it's a lot softer than candy canes. When you are not looking, though, I will be taking a sip of that drink in this podcast when you least expect it. So, anyways.
Cooper's gonna bark at you if you do.
Oh, Cooper's one of our dogs, for those of you who don't know. He's kind of feisty when it comes to anyone getting near Jessie, so.
I think they all know who my Pookie Bear is, my baby doggo.
Everyone by now probably knows who Cooper is. He's always rocking your merch, the milkshakes and ghost hat and all that stuff. Cooper be rocking it.
Yeah, true. You know, I like this drink a lot better than the drink I made last week, so.
Yeah, last week. Didn't you make that peppermint Oreo milkshake?
Yeah, it was too minty for me. And let me just say, it's not something I would do again. It wasn't horrible, but it was like way too minty. So anyway, what are you drinking?
I am drinking today a gingerbread milkshake. Why is your face like that? Don't look at me like that.
I don't like gingerbread.
Okay, well, I don't blame you for saying that because I kind of feel how you felt about your milkshake from last week. You know, it's not a horrible milkshake. It's just something I would never make again. It's something that I wanted to try, and I'm glad I tried it, but this is not something that I will be repeating.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew this about me, but I do not like gingerbread. It's like way too sweet for me.
Gingerbread's okay, just not this milkshake. I mean, it's not the greatest. Like I said, I wouldn't repeat it. Every time I think of Gingerbread Man, I think of the movie Krampus.
Such a good movie.
Oh man, my favorite part of that movie is when the boy bites into the gingerbread man cookie, thinking it's just a cookie. And the gingerbread man opens his eyes and goes, "Whoa!" And then he ties like, what is it, like metal chains around the boy and takes him up the chimney. That was funny.
And the parents or like the cousins tried to grab onto him, and they couldn't. And the gingerbread took him.
There was like Attack of the Gingerbread Man and the dog ate one. Oh my gosh.
About to say that.
I read your mind.
And then the gingerbread, one of them got blasted with like a flamethrower gun or something, and went.
That was a cool movie. We should watch it again afterwards since it is Christmas Eve. In celebration of Christmas, we don't watch. Yeah, Krampus. We're watching Krampus.
We don't watch those crazy Christmas movies that are like The Elf, Buddy the Elf, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or any other Christmas movie. We watch scary Christmas movies.
Like Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's not scary.
Well, it's cute though. Everybody else is like, oh my god, all our decorations are Nightmare Before Christmas and Ghost. And everyone else is like, I think it's adorable. What?
I only like the dog Zero.
I want to actually put that in our office if we find like a little figurine, Zero. That would be cute. Because we have Jack and Sally right now in our office.
We do? Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, our assistant is looking at us. No, we're not talking about you, Jack. We're talking about the figurine, Jack. Our assistant is like, huh?
We should get a custom-made figurine of Jack.
We should. Our assistant you're talking about, right?
No, yes, I am.
We should get like a bobblehead Jack. That would be so cool.
Oh, would you hit it? It'll go.
Jack, write that down. We need to get a bobblehead.
Write that down. Write that down. Yes. Okay. Slay. Anyway, did you come up with the idea of the milkshake on your own or online?
I got my recipe from wistfullyblessed.com. As always, I will link it in the show notes along with Jessie's drink where she got hers. So if anyone wants to try it, it might be your drink. Unfortunately, this is really not mine's. I will not be making this again. It's not horrible. If you guys like gingerbread, I recommend this recipe. It's not horrible. It's just not something that I will do again. It's really easy to make though. All you need is vanilla ice cream, cinnamon, milk, ginger, and vanilla abstract. That's it.
I'm actually surprised it does not have coffee in it.
Honestly, I feel like that's what's missing. It would probably be really great and taste a lot better with coffee. So, anyways, I will get my coffee later, Jessie. Today is Christmas listener stories.
Yeah, I love these types of episodes. It's always so much fun reading spooky stories from all of you listeners out there.
It really is. I think this is my favorite type of episode. We don't have to work so hard. Jack doesn't have to work so hard, our assistant. All we have to do is read the letters you guys wrote in, and it's fun. It's always fun knowing what you guys go through out there. I want to give a special thank you to our assistant, Jack, speaking of him, for putting all these emails together for us. We appreciate you so much, Jack.
Yes, Jack. Anyway, my also favorite part is singing, dancing. Anyway, the first letter we have is from... Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can use their name real quick. Yes, I can. Thank you. This letter is from Eric Gibson from the Indiana Paranormal Society, also known as The Tips.
Jessie, I recognize that name. Haven't we seen them on YouTube?
Yeah, we have.
They're pretty amazing. We've watched some of the videos they've done. I believe the one that I really liked was Stone Mansion. That was one of them that we seen. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah! Now I remember them. Oh my gosh.
That was really good. You guys should go check out their YouTube channel. It's pretty amazing.
Anyway, so their letter says, "It's me, the Indiana Paranormal Society Tips." Well, I don't think it's a spooky story, but some may think it is. In early November of 2024, a group of people and I went to a house in Indiana called the Monroe House.
Wait, I know that. We've seen that one too. I know the Monroe House. Okay, continue. Sorry.
I'm so happy. I can't. I have no words. I'm speechless.
We're reading this for the first time. Like I said earlier, Jack puts our letters together, so we're just as amazed as you guys are. So continue, Jessie. I'm so sorry I interrupted.
Anyway, we were getting some good activity, so we decided to go to the basement. 2 of the girls were going into the crawl space, while my friend from Who's Zero Paranormal were trying to figure out why my REM pod and her K2 were going crazy. While we were trying to figure it out, something grabbed my butt. I have never been touched or grabbed before. Well, she went into the crawl space with the other 2. I was walking around and I went to one spot of the basement and I felt like I got punched in the chest. T part being hit in the chest. I told them what happened and we just kept investigating. After the investigation, I felt extremely depressed. I couldn't get out of my own head and just didn't feel myself. I have been working midnights for 3 nights like this, and then I thought, wait, could I have an attachment? So I knew what attachments can do and how they can make you feel. I went ahead to double check all my symptoms. So being Catholic, non-practicing in a church, I said the St. Michael prayer, and then right after that, I said the Lord's Prayer, all in my crane at work. I felt an overwhelming sense of dizziness and fell on my chair. I shook my head. I felt absolutely amazing. I felt like my old self, just very tired. I remember reading my demonology books. When a spirit enters you or attaches itself to you, it goes through your chest and expels out your head or mouth, hence the dizziness. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Just remember, the power of prayer is real, no matter what you believe in. Thanks again. Eric Gibson, the Indiana Paranormal Society, Tips. Thank you so much, Eric, for writing in. I thought your story was incredibly creepy, but what scared me the most was the attachment. I can't imagine going through that.
I agree, Jessie. That attachment is horrifying. Don't get me wrong, the ghost grabbing your bottom is pretty scary, but I think having something to try to attach itself to you is even worse.
If a ghost touches me, we throwing hands. I'm about to take your weave off.
Same. I'll be right there with you. What? They're gonna catch these hands.
I think you might break a hip doing that.
Oh, stop.
19!
Don't you dare start with me, Jessie.
19 what?
Okay, anyways.
Anyway, now if you would like to see some really cool investigations from the Indiana Paranormal Society, aka Tips, go check them out on YouTube. We'll link it in the show notes.
The investigation they did at the Monroe House is on their YouTube page. It's pretty cool. Definitely go check it out.
Can we watch it after we podcast?
I got a better idea. Instead of just watching that, why don't we just binge watch their videos? That sounds like a really fun Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. That's a good idea.
The next letter we have is from, hold on. Let me check if I can say their name. I cannot, but I have permission to use their TikTok name. And I do recognize this person. I'm going to link their TikTok and IG account in our show notes. This person has some really cool makeup looks on IG. At Cruel Objective, I will link both accounts in our show notes. I am at .v4mp1r14 on TikTok. Hello, here's my spooky Christmas story. To start with some context, my grandpa from my dad's side passed away in August of 2022. Around a year later, in 2023, we were given his rocking chair. He always sat on it and fell asleep in this rocking chair when we would go visit him at my grandparents' house. This rocking chair was placed in our living room. We still hadn't taken off Christmas decorations from the past 2 years. We were still grieving multiple family members that passed away months apart. Other factors contributed to this as well. So, here we are. Christmas of 2023 had just finished and we decided to finally take off all the decorations. We had some battery-operated Christmas lights. The batteries were still in it at this point. Things started getting weird. When we placed those lights on the rocking chair, the lights would turn on. We figured maybe someone accidentally turned them on, or maybe one of the cats or dogs sat on them. This became an everyday occurrence. Even sometimes in the middle of the night, when I would go to the restroom and the living room was dark, I could see the glow of those Christmas lights. Every time I would catch them on, I would just turn them off and go back to whatever I was doing. At this point, I'm not going to lie, I was a little weirded out, so I decided to take out the batteries. Little did I know that wouldn't do much. After that, I saw the lights turn on one more time, but without the batteries in there. The lights were still on the chair. At that point, I was spooked at first and convinced that maybe a part of my grandpa was still attached to the chair. But for some reason, the thought of my grandpa still here with us started to feel oddly comforting. I took the lights off of the rocking chair and put them into a bag in my closet. To my knowledge, they didn't turn on again. I truly believe the chair was the culprit and almost an energy source. To this day, we still have the rocking chair. Every time around Christmas, I think of my grandpa and those lights that turned on when we placed them on the rocking chair. It was weird, but I never got any bad vibes from it. I think it was just my grandpa's way of communicating and playing with us. He loved to joke around and loved his rocking chair. Thank you for listening to my story. It was an honor sharing it with you.
That story reminded me of what happened when we put up the Halloween lights that sung the Ghostbusters song.
I was thinking it while I was reading it. I was just waiting till I was done reading it to mention it, but you mentioned it first. Yeah, that's exactly what that reminded me of.
Whatever was trying to communicate with us was not a grandparent, a demon.
I think it was a demon. I just think it was something that just definitely not a grandparent. Not loving, but not malice. Just kind of mischievous, I guess. For all of you who are wondering and haven't heard the story yet, we did post it on one of these episodes, and we actually did a contest regarding this story of whether or not it was real or fake. And this was the real story. So these lights on our Halloween decorations would turn on and it would start playing Ghostbusters song. That's what the theme was on those lights. But like I said, it never felt scary. It never felt malice. I personally never got scared. I just kind of laughed about it. So did you, Jesse.
Yeah, I remember when something was wrong in the kitchen, we were smelling like metal. And EMF detectors can also detect like electrical issues and stuff. And my mom was like, "Get the EMF detector!" And suddenly, the ghost lights started going off like, "There's something strange
in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! No, but it wasn't just that. I said get the EMF detector. It doesn't just detect ghosts. And when I said that, then it went off because I said the word it doesn't just detect ghosts. And the Ghostbusters theme on those lights started going off. It was so creepy, but so cool.
The next story we have is from... Let me see if I'm allowed to use their name. Okay, I can use their name and their TikTok page. So their TikTok page is at a ghost widow, and their name is K. Shelton. The property that I live on is on the northwest corner of Dunklin County, Missouri, in the Missouri Boot Heel. My husband and I built a small home here in 2010. Before we moved to the property, I created a pasture behind the old barn that was built on the property 50 plus years ago. We inherited the property from my husband's uncle, Clifford, that died in 2007. He was widowed. His wife, Ruth, died in the home on the property several years before. She passed away in her sleep. My husband experienced a shadow figure on the property late one winter night. I was working in a small rural hospital about 20 miles north and was working the evening shift. Most days I would come to the farm to feed the animals before work, but this day I was running late. I called my husband while I was at work to come and meet me at the farm. For several days, I had a funny feeling of not being alone in the barn, and I didn't want to feed the horses at midnight alone. He agreed to meet me. The property is 1.5 miles off a secondary blacktop highway down a gravel road, and 7 miles from the nearest small town. Just a few neighbors are scattered here and there. When I pulled off the gravel road onto the property, my husband's truck was parked in front of the large loft barn. Every light inside and out of the truck was on, and the windows were fogged up. As I parked my truck beside his, he rolled down his window and told me to feed the animals and let's go home. After we returned and settled for the night, he told me that he was scared to death. The barn has 2 large sliding doors leading into the center of the barn. They were closed when he pulled up and parked about 10 feet away from the doors. While he was sitting in his truck waiting for me, he noticed a black mist pouring out from the crack where the sliding doors met. The mist took the form of a man and a little dog and was solid black with dimension to it. He was terrified as he sat there, staring at this entity for several minutes as it faded away. My husband told me the shadow entity had the appearance of his uncle and the shape and size of his uncle's little dog, Tippy, a dog that Clifford had for several years. There have been several paranormal events that have happened on this property over the years. So much so that I wrote a book about these events, leading up to and continued after my husband's cancer diagnosis and death. Examples of paranormal experiences: shadow entities, cold spots, large balls of white light, disembodied voices. If you are interested in a copy, I can send you one through Amazon. I have sent a couple to other creators and haven't gotten a response. Title of the book is The Paranormal Cancer and a Cat Called Mouse. I have been ghost hunting since 2009, and these events have been experienced on this property by myself and others are unbelievable. Thank you for your time.
Wow, that is super creepy. That was really creepy.
I got goosebumps while I was reading that. This is the first time we're seeing this and reading this letter.
I got goosebumps on top of my goosebumps. What? All right, Miss Shelton, I honestly just wanted to express my sincerest condolences to your departed husband. I'm really, really sorry for your loss. I can't imagine how hard that must be. I think you're an amazing, remarkable, strong individual. And I am really wanting to read this book of yours. It sounds absolutely intriguing.
Same here, Miss Shelton. I hope you're doing okay. And I, too, am very sorry for your loss. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you.
That was a great story that you read, Jessie. I just want to let all of our listeners know, again, that every letter we get from you guys, our assistant Jack picks them out and we read it for the first time in real time while we're recording our listeners' episode.
Honestly, this one really creeped me out so much. I really want to read your book, Miss Shelton.
Same here. Miss Shelton, if you're listening, Jessie and I are really interested in reading your book. So send it our way. Get a hold of Jack and send it our way. I would love to read it.
I wonder if she still lives on the property.
That's a good question. If she does, maybe she'll let us do a ghost hunt there. That would be pretty cool.
That would be amazing. So, Mom, I ordered some new ghost equipment that's coming this week.
Wait, you did what? How in the world did you order something? With what money?
My bank account's name is Dad, and Dad said I can get anything I want off of Amazon, so I did.
Oh my gosh, Jessie. You should have told me something.
Well, I got money, and it's supposed to be a Christmas surprise, so surprise!
I think the real surprise is when the Amazon credit card bill comes. I think that's going to be the real surprise.
That's something we don't need to talk about right now, or after this.
Oh my gosh. If any of you are interested in reading Miss Shelton's book, The Paranormal Cancer and a Cat Called Mouse, it will be in our show notes. I have a bunch of questions for you, Miss Shelton, after hearing this story. I thought this story was super creepy, and I'm excited to see what other tales you have about living on this haunted property.
I definitely want to do a follow-up with her.
The last letter we have is from, Megan. And yes, I do have permission to use her name. Hi, my name is Megan. And yes, you can use my name. I would like to start off by saying, you two rock.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Megan.
Yes, thank you, Megan, for the compliment. That is really nice. Okay, so Megan says, I'm a freshman in college and I am into spooky things, but not the kind that make you sleep with one eye open. My little sister told me about your podcast, and I've been hooked ever since. Your podcast is just the right amount of spooky. Plus, I love the history that the two of you give in each spooky story that you do. Now, enough with the bantering. You ladies know how great you are. Let me get into my story.
There can never be enough bantering and compliments. Trust me, we do not mind.
Jessie's right. We really don't mind. Continue. Okay, so Megan says, I am a freshman at Gettysburg College. Now, if you're not familiar with that college, let me give you a rundown of what it's next to. My campus is adjacent to Gettysburg Battlefield.
What? No way. No way, you lie.
Yes, you heard right. Gettysburg Battlefield. The college was founded in 1832. The year alone screams, I'm haunted!
I mean, it really does. She's not lying.
Megan goes on to say, you can sometimes hear people crying in pain late at night throughout the building. One night, I was walking down one of the long hallways of the school and saw the apparition of a Confederate officer patrolling the hallway. Needless to say, I ran back into the other direction and called my boyfriend to escort me out the building. The worst thing that happened is when my best friend and I got into an elevator together. When the doors opened, we were shocked to see people dressed in old-fashioned clothes tending to injured men. We did not exit the elevator. We shut the doors immediately. We got the security guard to come with us and check it out. When we got back to the same floor, the elevator doors opened. Nothing was there. Everything was normal. No injured men, no people in old-fashioned clothing. The security guard thought we were trying to prank him, but we weren't. My friend and I saw the same thing. I have lots more stories to share, like the one about the blue boy, but that's a story for another time.
No, Megan, that's a story for right now.
I really wish you had wrote in about the blue boy. That would have been awesome. Megan says, thank you, Jenny and Jessie, for all your spooky stories and for all the laughter the two of you create. You make my day brighter. Sincerely, Megan K. Richards.
Yeah, I want to hear about the rest of the ghost stories she has, because please write us in.
I did too. Please, Megan, write us back and tell us everything. We want to hear more.
We should cover Gettysburg College in a future episode.
That sounds like a really good idea, Jessie. Well, that's all the time for listener stories we have. Thank you all for writing in.
If you don't already know, we do listener stories once a month. If you have a spooky story and would like to have it read on air, please write us at milkshakesghosts@gmail.com. If you would like to follow our socials, we're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Twitter, and Patreon.
If you would like to become a Patreon member, please visit patreon.com/milkshakesandghosts. I will link it in the show notes along with all of our other socials.
Join Patreon for free monthly gifts and cool perks.
Let's give a shout out to our awesome Patreon members. Mr. E from Special Delivery Show. Check out the Special Delivery Show. His podcast takes interviews to a whole new level. I'd like to give a big shout out to Pods R Us. Pods R Us is a digital creator. They post weekly updated top 10 best podcasts to listen to. Let Pods R Us help you find your next podcast. I will link their Instagram in our show notes.
M&G VIP members also include Vampires Rock 222, The Blonde Happenings with Kelly and Brenda, Witches for Life 1892, Bigfoot is Real 76, Bloodsucker 95, Nightmares 888, Witchy Talk 65, Dracula Rocks 22, Tina and Ruben, Legend, United We Stand, Ramos 1972, Marie, Mary Ann, The Paranormal Duo, Laura and Joanne, Bruce the All Spooky, Harmony, Joan of Arc, The Dark Side, Ronald H., Joe Santana, Myra Morales from That's So Spooky, Jada Kimar H., Tony S., Jean from The Truth Is Out There, Nadia and Edward, Carl and Becca, Mandy and Kenneth, Jules and Christina, Joel from The Paranormal Countdown, Alan, Death Star 1, PR Princess, Maxine, UK Ghost Haunts and Hunts, Terror Screams, Jules M., Victor and Myra, Haunted Canadian History, Melissa and Dan, The Truth Is Out There with Carly and Allison, Creepster Allen 458.
Thank you all for being Patreon members. We appreciate each and every single one of you.
And remember, keep drinking milkshakes
And keep being
spooky!
Merry Christmas! It's time for bloopers!
Can I say something funny?
Sure. Say it's your show.
I'm drinking air. It's made out of dirt air, candy cane air, peppermint air, and that. I'm drinking air, guys.
I definitely came up with this online. Oh, wait, that didn't make sense. I definitely found this online. I said I came up with this online. What? Oh, gingerbread is getting to my head. No, I got this idea from online.
Christmas time is here. Happiness.
Like half of everyone tuned out right now. You're driving away to listeners.
No, guys, I promise my voice is better. Just give me a second.
Okay. No. Everybody's like, turn it off.
You're trying to say about my singing.
I love you, Jessie.
So you like my singing?
I love your singing. Okay. Back to listener tales.
Let me sing, man.